Okay, this is a second attempt at recording this Mount Baker Vapor review. I got 2 completed juices from them and 3 flavorings. I'm going to start off with the actual juices that I got from them. Mind you, I vape no nicotine, so that can alter the flavor a little bit, so just keep that in mind. I didn't order any additional flavor shots because I just wanted to see what they were like on their own without any additional flavoring, because if you do add too much flavoring, it can make the juice too weak or too perfumey. So I just wanted to see what they were like as they were. The first one is Lemon Breezy, and these were made on 215 by Mount Baker Vapor. And it's nice because they have the ingredients listed on the front, a little disclaimer, says made in USA, and a little kind of like nutritional facts type thing, which is cute, even though it really doesn't serve much of a purpose because everything's 0. But I don't know, I think it's cool. And this is a 15 milliliter. The pricing on these are really cheap, so if you're looking for something that's cost effective, they're definitely good as far as that goes. Now this Lemon Breezy, just take a vape real quick. This is on my HH357 1.5 resistance on my iTaste SVD, variable voltage at 3.7. Yeah, like when I first got this, I couldn't even like stand it. It was just way too mentholated. I don't like menthol in heavy amounts, and I don't particularly care for it with fruit because it reminds me of those cough drops, the Hall's Fruit Breezes or whatever. They're like fruit flavored cough drops, and I don't like eucalyptus, which is why I don't like menthol typically, especially when it's strong. And that's exactly what this reminded me of, is the like eucalyptus cough drops, the fruit ones. So, you know, right away I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, but I did let it sit for a while. I put it in a hot water bath to see if that would help at all. I don't really think it would have at that point, but you know, I just pretty much wanted to try everything, and then I let the cap off of it for overnight. And leaving the cap off on certain juices, basically what it does is, if the flavor is like a little off, sometimes leaving the cap off will help with that, especially if it's too perfumey. Or in this instance, the menthol. For whatever reason, menthol seems to kind of evaporate a little bit if you leave the cap off, at least just my experience. So that's what I did, and it has calmed down a lot. Mind you, these were mixed 3 weeks ago, so that could have something to do with it as well. Right now, it's just kind of a lemon flavor with a little bit of menthol, but it's not overpowering the way it was when I first tried it, which, like I said, I couldn't stand it. So it's definitely better now, but it's not something I would repurchase, and I'm going to try to mix it with something else to make it a little bit more enjoyable, because I have too many juices as it is, so I don't really want to sacrifice or basically basically I have so many juices to choose from. I'm not going to limit myself to something I don't really love or really like particularly, because there's just really no point. Like, I'd rather vape something I enjoy than just suffer through it. So I'm going to try to mix it with other things, like maybe make it like a lemonade type thing. And then that's another thing too, I did add sweetener to all of the juices I made. I don't know if it's just me, because I guess with fruits I do prefer them to be a little bit on the sweet side, but I had to add sweetener to all of them. I mean, the ones I mixed myself, of course, you know, I added it, because like I don't know if they add sweetener to theirs or they just use flavors or what, but it was no big deal. I have a bottle of sweetener that I use on occasion, so I just added a couple drops to it, and some of the flavors it helps substantially, so that might be something to take note of. So the next flavor I got, which is my favorite out of all of them, and it's hawk sauce, and this is pretty popular, like a lot of people like it, and I guess it's inspired by the Seattle Hawks because of, I guess they were in the Super Bowl or whatever. I don't follow football, so I don't really care about any of that, but I did like the description. It's like a berry mix with a little bit of menthol. Now, people argue about whether there's menthol in it or not. I personally think there is because, number one, I can taste it, and number two, it says right on the website that it has a hint of menthol in it. So, I don't know. But there's contradictory posts on the forum that were linked to some other forum that was supposedly from Mount Baker themselves, saying that they don't use menthol, they use some kind of alcohol based flavor. So I don't know, I get a little hit of menthol, but I like it and it's done well. So I've been pretty much vaping this like non-stop since about, because it took a week for it to become really good. Like, it was vapable right away. Like, it wasn't bad or anything, but the menthol still was a little bit overpowering. So I did, like, the same process I did with the lemon Breezy and just left the cap off, and I added sweetener to this. I believe I added 5 drops for the whole 15 mil, so it's not even that much. And it definitely helped, at least for me. And, my HH357 is a little gurgly for some reason. But, I don't know. Like, I really like it. Out of all the flavors that I've tried from them, and I haven't tried many, this is my favorite, and what I've been vaping, like I said, pretty much for the last couple of weeks. And another thing to keep in mind, this I prefer to use in a cardo, which cartomizers, I like cartomizers. They're still like one of my go-to devices to use. I do have tanks. I have the SST. It's like a Genesis style atomizer, which I do need to rebuild. I need a torch because it's just the way I prefer to use it, and my butane is out, so that's why I haven't done it. And I have a Kanger Pro tank, which I, again, need to, like, I need to find it, to be honest. I have a dripper, and all those, cartomizers are so simple to use, they're so hassle-free. I just put the liquid in there and vape it. It's just certain flavors are better in it than others. I find that if, like, a flavor is too strong, or if I don't like certain notes of the flavor, if I put it in a carto, sometimes it'll mute out those flavors, or eliminate them completely. And I feel like that's what the cardos do for the hawk sauce. It takes a little bit of the menthol away, because even in my HH357, I'm getting a lot of that menthol still, even like almost a month later. So that's like another tip, I guess. But the only thing about it is, like, if you do put a juice that you're not particularly fond of in a cardo, hoping that it will be better, if it still sucks, then you're out that cardo unless you like clean it and everything, which is kind of a hassle. But it's just something to keep in mind, and that's how I've been vaping it and prefer it. It's just like I said, it's like a mixture of berries. It's supposed to be like a berry lemonade with a hint of menthol, so yeah, it's pretty accurate, I guess, and it's really good. I do like it a lot. Then the other items that I have, and one of them I can't find, which is actually my least favorite out of all of them, and it's Thug Juice. Now, I did a swap with somebody a while back for some nicotine juices for my grandma, because like I said, I don't vape nicotine, but that's what the lady had, and so I was just like, okay, well, I can give it to my grandma. So I got it and everything, and she absolutely loves it. Like, she's just vaping away on it. It was like a 30 ml bottle, and it's like already halfway gone, and she didn't have it that long. So I figured if nothing more or whatever, I can just have it to make juices for her. So I purchased it, and again, it's way too strong on the menthol. It's like a a fruit mixture of some sort. I think it's like watermelon and like all these other things, and it's just like all I really get is like a fruity melon, a mentholated like melon flavor, and I don't like fruit and menthol together. Like I don't know, like, and it's weird because hawk sauce is I guess it's more berry than like other, I don't know. I don't like it. It's really, really strong on the menthol, and no matter what I did to it, it never dissipated. So I'm going to try tweaking it a little bit, like maybe lowering the percentage, because I did use 15% on all of the flavors I mixed from them, which is what they recommend on the label. And they just come in like a bottle like this, so I'm not going to bother showing you what it looks like. But I don't know, like I used the 15% because that's what it recommends to start at, so yeah. The next one is blueberry, and it's just straight up berry, and I did add sweeteners to these as well. But it was pretty good without the sweetener. It's just, I like my fruits a little bit sweet. Still getting a little menthol from that other stuff. Yeah, it's like a really nice blueberry. Out of the blueberries I've tried, and I've tried a couple from Vapor, or the Perfumer's Apprentice. I've tried a few from them. There's like because they have different kinds. They have the extra, they have a wild blueberry, and they have regular blueberry. And I've tried the extra and the regular. And out of the three, I prefer theirs flavor. I don't know if Mount Baker Vapor uses exclusively Flavor West flavorings for their juices, but supposedly they do. So it's either and or Mount Baker Vapor's flavors. That is like so much of a tongue twister. Their flavorings and or Flavor West. So I'm not really sure if this is Flavor West blueberry or specifically Mount Baker's blueberry, but whichever it is, it's good. It's my favorite blueberry that I've tried so far. It's not perfumey at all, and it just tastes like a blueberry pretty much. And that really hasn't changed too much since I first mixed it. So, I mean, if you're looking for something that you want to use right away and not have to wait for it to steep, because like fruits generally steep quicker than any other like kind of flavor. Tobaccos can take a while. Dessert flavors can take a while, especially if there's like chocolate involved, or I think cream too. I don't really have much experience with cream mixtures because I don't use them. Because I don't know, I get a weird note in any kind of cream flavor I've tried, so I kind of avoid them. So yeah, I can't really tell you about that. And then the last flavor I have here is Demon Energy, and you can see that these don't really change color, but that could be because there's no nicotine in it. I think nicotine generally changes the liquid more than any other ingredient. There are a couple other additives that change the color, like ethyl maltol, I think is supposed to change color. It's supposed to make it like a pink or a red color. I've never had that experience, so I don't know if it's a reaction between the nicotine and that or what, but in my experience it hasn't changed my liquids at all, or maybe I'm not using enough, I don't really know, but never had the experience. And then I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what else changes colors, but I think vanillin, yeah, I think it's vanillin, and I think that might change it red too. I'm not really sure. They never really changed on me, so. Now this one, Demon Energy, is supposed to be like a green monster drink. So if you ever had the energy drink Monster that comes in the big green can, that's what this is supposed to taste like. And I don't know, I would say it's pretty accurate. I haven't had a Monster drink in a while because I don't drink I try to avoid sugar basically, so I just haven't tried it, and I don't think they have a sugar-free version of the green one, at least not from what I've seen. So I don't know, like, from what I remember, it tastes pretty accurate, but like I said, I did add sweetener to it, so that's just something to note. And like I said, I think it was like maybe 5 drops for this thing. I don't really remember, but you might want to add sweetener to it if you don't. I mean, it's not like I didn't like it, it's just I prefer it with sweetener. So anyway, that's my review of the Mount Baker Vapor. It's pretty good. Like, they shipped really quickly. They also gave me a free sample of, it was a nice sample too, it was a 15 milliliter sample of guava, but the thing is it had nicotine in it. It's a 12 milligram. Unless you specify in the comments section on your order, they will give you whatever flavor of the month or week or whatever that they have, like, on, you know, back order, or not back order, but like basically in a surplus. They'll give you whatever that is, and it's an 80-20 blend of PG and VG, and it's generally 12 milligrams. You can ask for a certain flavor and a certain mixture or whatever if you have an order over, I think it's like 25 or 20, or I don't know. It's like over, it's like on their webpage or whatever, but it's like over a certain amount that you have to order to get the free sample. And if you specify it in the comments section, like what flavor and all that you want, they'll do their best to accommodate you, and generally they will accommodate you. There's even people that have gotten like extra flavor shots and stuff like that too. So I don't know. I mean, the customer service seems to be pretty good from like what I've heard. I've only ordered for them once, so I can't really say too much about that. And then when I got my order, there was nothing wrong with it, so I didn't have to contact them for any reason. But like I said, I got my order really quickly. It only took a couple days. Everything processed fine. Everything was accurate and properly packaged. Like, there was no leaking or anything like that. So, you know, that's really good. And people on the forum, like, the only complaints I've gotten from, or heard from them, is that they just don't like the flavors. There are some people that just don't like the flavorings they use, and that's, you know, it is what it is. But me personally, I think they're fine. They're like not my favorite, like, across the board, but I do really like hawk sauce. There is a flavor that I've tried recently that's, I think, probably overcome them, and it's from a different brand or whatever, but I'm not gonna get into them yet because I just got these literally a week ago, so I'm waiting on a couple of the flavors to see if they get any better, because one of them is a dessert type flavor, and so far it's not very good, but the other things from the line are, and I'm just kind of waiting to see if, you know, it'll change or whatever. But it's from the Vapor Chef, and it's the Honey Perry one. It's so good. Oh, it's amazing. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but just keep, like, watching, like, keep an eye out for that video, because it should be coming sometime soon.